Begin today in San Juan, where we'll meet up with a man who has helped transform an empty space into something truly beautiful. Our Francis Felix has the story.
Located in the heart of San Juan, Condado has changed a lot throughout the years. The continued increase in tourism and the development of the area is due in part by a legendary citizen who recently this park is named after.
I saw 42nd Street in Times Square. I said someday this corner is going to be a really, really hot corner. And it's going to be very important for the Condado.
John Fusile is a longtime friend of Puerto Rico and the community of Condado. Almost 70 years ago, he arrived at the island from New York. 50 years ago, the former lawyer had a vision of transforming an empty space in the center of Condado into a recreational park. A dream come true for him.
I always had my eye on this park. It was not like this. It was barren. It was nothing, just dirt and sand. And I always thought that this park someday would be 42nd Street and Times Square. And yes, it is. It's turned out, after all these years, 50 years, to be a very strong park.
Recognizing the efforts and contributions of John, the House of Representatives and Puerto Rico Senate designated the John Fusile Recreational Park.
This park is called John Fusile, but it's not John Fusile. It's the People's Park. It belongs to the people of Puerto Rico, which I love. That's who I'm in love with, the people of Puerto Rico. But it has my name, but it belongs to them. This is their park.
John wants locals and tourists to feel safe, so he created a phone number for any suspicious activity. He will also like to have a kiosk to give tourism information.
And I wanted to do something strong for Puerto Rico, and the strongest thing is fight crime. So we created the 343-2020. Since that time, millions of our people use that telephone for emergencies. Have tourism, put a little casita, típico puertorriqueño, right there at the entrance of La Concha and the park, so that tourism can give information to the hundreds of tourists that are in this area every day. We have over 1,000 cars that come by this park every day, and we have a mess of tourists that come. So they would all be welcomed into this little casita, and we would tell them what about Puerto Rico? Where should we go? And now they added a pool. I would love to get a guard from 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock, because that's when we have the trouble. That's when we have the problems. From 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock, I need help for security. The names on the wall are corporations, Puerto Rican corporations that have helped me so far in the park, like La Concha, like CBS, and as they help us, I put their name on the wall as a thank you.
From John Fusile Park in Condado, Puerto Rico, Francis Felix reporting.
Turning now to news in Bermuda, no fishing zones off Bermuda totaling 90,000 square kilometers have been proposed under a Blue Prosperity Plan. This draft plan recommends protecting 20% of the waters falling within Bermuda's exclusive economic zone. The EEZ, which extends over 230 miles offshore, now documents which is able to give the public outlines to the first steps for Bermuda to become a global leader and a hub for investment in sustainable industries. Right now, Home Affairs Minister Wada Rabane says the draft plan proposes the development of a blue investment facility. This would attract and manage investments and provide new revenues and career opportunities for people in Bermuda. He also said there's already some waiting in people to get involved with the project.
There are some who have already been knocking at our door because there's an eagerness by the international investment community and also the investment community in Bermuda to invest in environmental and social governance type of efforts that complement strengthening our environment, strengthening the action against climate change, strengthening the protection of our oceans, and improving the quality of life for Bermuda in general, if not the world. So we've had some already talking to us about how they can invest. I will just give you a little hint. I'm going to be speaking to some potential investors in the upcoming days because they want to know how they can support. Once the investment facility is created, this will be a mechanism for them to make their contribution if they so fit. This will be an investment mechanism run on private enterprise. The government will not be running it. It will be run as a legitimate investment fund out in the marketplace.
The leader of Turks and Caicos received an honorary degree recently. He also served as the commencement speaker during the ceremony. One Caribbean News' DeAndre Hamilton has more on the message for the graduates.
Premier of the Turks and Caicos Islands, Washington Mizik, is now the Honorable Dr. Washington Mizik after he was awarded an honorary Doctor of Commerce degree by the Northern Caribbean University, or NCU, in Jamaica. Mizik is a former student of the institution. He completed his high school education at NCU back when it was called the West Indies College, which was over 5 decades ago. The Premier, now in his 70s, also delivered a commencement speech to the over 500 graduates at the ceremony on Sunday, August 14th. The two-time elected TCI leader shared some of the hardships he overcame to achieve his personal goals.
Due to socioeconomic circumstances, when many in my age group were going to school, I had to go to work. You could say that I started my education at the University of Hard Knocks.
Using life experiences and lessons as a guide, Mizik encouraged the graduates to continue moving and to never give up.
Life has highs and lows, successes and failures. The potential for success only ends when you stop moving. Do not stop moving. There will be obstacles in the road that will trip you up from time to time, but that is no reason to give up. Look at me. I didn't tell you all of the story. A barefoot, bare butt, underprivileged boy from a little town called Bottle Creek today, awarded with an honorary doctorate degree.
He also urged the graduates to continue learning so they could take advantage of the opportunities that will certainly come their way.
Graduates, remember that the more you know, the more opportunities will come your way.
And on social media, loads of congratulations for the Premier. DeAndre Hamilton reporting.